Welcome, gamers from around the globe. You've dropped into the best place for Game Pass news. That's right, you've dropped into the Game Pass Tracker Show, of course. This is episode 137, recorded live Thursday, January 25th. I'm Nick Metzger here with the best dang co-host a guy could ever have. You know who it is, Mr. Sean Abbott. We're going to fill your brains with all this week's bits and bobs with Xbox, like Xbox Developer Direct Review, deep cuts in Microsoft, and our take on Palworld, the new Game Pass Pokemon-like? Yeah, sure, you better believe it. So, sit down, buckle up, because Game Pass Tracker Show is one crazy ride.
Hello and what is up, everybody? Welcome to today's show. We just want to welcome you to your favorite Xbox Game Pass podcast, the Game Pass Tracker Show. You can find us on pretty much every social networking app that is out there. Just search for @Game Pass Tracker. If you have any thoughts, questions, do not hesitate to email us at show@gamepasstracker.com. And if you like what you're hearing, go onto your podcast app of choice and hit the 5-star review and leave some words, some kind words. It'd always be nice. It really helps us grow and reach more fans like you. And we wouldn't be a Game Pass show without promoting the Big Daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. If you love Game Pass, you'll love our show, and you want to support us, head to the link in the description and sign up to Game Pass on the Xbox.com website. Not only will you be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker show, you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription out there right now, Xbox Game Pass. So sign up to whatever level you desire, whether that be PC Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate. Just play your own way by using the code in the chat or the show notes. You'll help us continue to create the awesome content we love to make for you, our amazing fans. So without further ado, Nick, let's head into the Game Pass headlines.
Sorry about that. Gosh darn buttons. Button was not working. All right. We also forgot that I had this light that I'm supposed to turn on and didn't do that either. So, but we're all there now. So welcome to Game Pass Tracker Show. First off, we do one little tidbit of format that we're going to start changing. We are going to get rid of Out Last Week in the Game Pass headlines, mainly because by the time we get to Out Last Week, you're hearing about the same game 3 times. We tell you what's coming the week ahead, what's here this week, and what's out last week. And Sean and I thought, you're probably sick and tired of hearing us talk about that same game 3 times. So we'll just do it twice. Still getting it twice. So we're going to talk about this week and next week. That way we'll keep you up to date. If you want to know what out last week and you missed it, then, just go 1 episode back. Be like, dang, I missed that episode. I'm going to go check it out. So, yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's right. There's no other place you can get this information, people, except for right here, right now. So if you didn't get it here, you're SOL. You better go find it on another episode. That's all I got to say. Yeah, I was trying my best. But what is out this week? I cheated a little bit. I'm not going to lie, because this is technically, what was it? It was Thursday, but I felt like we didn't talk about this last week. Well, let's not go there. Anyways, January 18th, Turnip Boy robs a bank, which I am shamed to say, Sean, I have not made it to yet, because I've been playing another game we'll talk about. But it is out everywhere, out January 18th, available day 1 with Game Pass. That's the way we like it. Turnip Boy is back. This time he's teaming up with the Pickled Gang to plan and execute the weirdest heist of all time, shake down hostages, steal valuables, battle the fuzz, and use wacky tools bought off the dark web to move further into the vaults of the Botanical Bank. Have you got to this yet? Because we were both super psyched about it. I get it. I get it. So yeah, totally makes sense. Next week, yeah, go ahead. Oh, listen, I remembered the scene this time, Sean. What do you people want so much from me? I just like it's beginning to here. You want there? Maybe there you go. There's B-roll now. Gosh, now that we're done talking about it, there's B-roll. Look at people. I set this stuff up and then I don't use it because I am who I am. Next, we have F1 23, January 18th, EA Sports F1 23, coming to PC Game Pass and Ultimate Play. Test your driving talents, create your dream team, and be the last to break in the official video game of the 2023 FIA Formula One World Championship. Sean, what does FIA stand for? Do you know? Okay, just wondered. I mean, I think it's an AI. It could be like a, I don't know. There you go. See, look at, we give you guys pertinent information. Gotcha. There you go. See, look at that. So you can play F1 23. Cool. That's neat. There it is. So the game. Now, are we going to talk? No, we're going to talk about this in top stories. I just realized that I could have. Whatever. All right. Palworld. January 19th. So Friday. This game's been out since Friday. Available day one again with Game Pass. Embark on an open world adventure through Palworld where you can discover and capture over 100 pals, unveil the secrets of this mysterious land, overcome formidable bosses, and build powerful bases. Use your pals to do tasks for you and automate an entire production line. You know, I really hope I get that far, Sean, because I'm very excited to see like this production line with pals. Just I'm not that far yet, but anyways, we'll talk about it later. So that is out there, and again we got there. It's late, but we got there. So what is out? What's out next, Sean? It's like monkey ball. Looks like monkey ball, like a form of monkey ball. Yeah, except it's not like behind the person. It's not three. It's not third person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Oh no, it's not. Okay, so you hop out of the little mecha ball and start shooting stuff. Okay, there you go. All right, so no, it's not like monkey ball because you're not always in the ball. Yeah, I mean, it does look fun. It does look fun along with all these other things we have to play. Oh my gosh, so much stuff.
Where is that?
Well, it was a ghost drop. So it was yeah. I don't believe anybody really knew it was coming out. Um, this game's a weird one because it came out October 22nd in game preview. I don't know if it's been available on Game Pass this whole time and everybody just kind of forgot about it, or if it went off of Game Pass at some point and now has come back as 1.0. But yeah, it is now out. And as far as I know, now I'm gonna be shocked to everybody. I don't know everything, but as far as I know, we didn't know this was coming until it got here. So, and this is the game.
So Phantom a bit.
Go ahead, yeah.
Sorry. So it's a Devolver Digital game. It came out with on the free to. It should have been out with the free to play days, which you get as Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate. So that was how it was supposed to come out. but then it got dropped into Game Pass itself as a free trial.
Yeah, there you go. So I went back.
Sort of.
October 20th, Phantom Abyss is a massive asynchronous multiplayer game that casts players into procedurally generated temples and tasks them with retrieving the sacred relics hidden within deadly chambers. Be warned, you only get one attempt at each temple, and failure or settling for a lesser relic means you will never see that temple again. God, that's not that gave me I mean stress already. I have anxiety just reading that. Like, if I don't do this right, I don't get to see this temple. Now, as I remember, I don't remember how many people, but there's a bunch of people playing, as they're saying, asynchronously. So you can kind of see their shadows of where they're at, but they're not in your way. But it's
this is like Mario Wonder style.
Yeah. And so, and then I think whoever gets to the temple first, or I can't remember, or maybe you just have to get there. I don't know if I can't remember if there's a time or not. But I did play it in game preview. There have been a good bit of changes made, as I understand it, to 1.0. So yeah, that was a drop, and those are always fun to have.
Yep. And then next week, January 30th, Potato. Top-down roguelike arena shooter where you play a potato wielding up to 6 weapons at a time to fight off hordes of aliens. Choose from a variety of traits and items to create unique builds and survive until help arrives. And when we talked about this, we did talk about this last week. We were saying it's like Survivor IO and Vampire Survivors.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
they're kind of the same gameplay. So
yeah. Totally. So, and then in the month ahead, we have Untold, which we'll get to once we get a little bit closer. We'll tell you a little bit more about it, but that's February 6th. Leaving in... Oh, I was going to... My math is off. I thought it was real soon, but it's not. It's like in a day, less than a week, in 6 days. Leaving in 6 days is Hitman World of Assassination, gone everywhere, and F1 21 on cloud and console, because you can play F1 23 now. So there you go.
True.
And as I say, you have until January 31st to beat them, or with your Game Pass subscription before January 31st, you can buy them for a 20% discount. So there's your options, folks. Get them done or lose them forever.
And remember, if you're looking for a clear-cut place for all the information about what's coming, what's going, and everything like that, listen to this podcast or follow us over on X at Game Pass Tracker.
And with no further ado, we will go into the X feed. Without further ado, I was really lost. I was like, I was like, in my head, I was trying to get ahead of my words to remember what I needed, like what you say there, and I'm like, with no further.
What I liked is when as the transition was happening between the two scenes, so we were going into I watching you on Zoom, just looking at the confused look in your face, like, did I say that right?
Did you see the light bulb go off when I figured it out? I was like, oh, without further. Yeah, okay, yeah. I said that wrong. There it is.
Light bulb.
Anyway.
So last week, you probably tuned in to me sitting here during the developer direct, on varying levels of excitement and not excitement. So yeah, I found it was difficult. So we're going to talk a lot more about things individually, but I didn't find the 2024 direct as exciting as the 2023 direct. Because you weren't there, so let's go for that. It was very difficult to bounce off somebody else's
that's tough.
hype for this. But secondly, the games that were shown and the fact that the dates are all so far back in the year, apart from Hellblade 2,
mm-hmm.
It's kind of made me go, oh, fair enough. So my excitement level for the developer direct kind of nosedived very quickly. It was it was amazing that we got the Square Enix. I knew there was going to be something pop up somewhere. I was kind of hoping it was going to be pure out Bethesda coming in with Doom and smashing everything to pieces.
Of course.
But no, we got a little bit of a surprise right from Square Enix. So
Yeah, yeah. Also, I would like to say this is like when you're at church and Jesus is always the right answer. Doom is always Sean's right answer. Like if you, that's it's like what's the Doom? It's always Doom. I love it. I love you
Yep.
for it.
What's that child friendly game that you can play on Game Pass like Doom?
Doom. That's right. and, I, and that's no offense to any religion. It's just a joke. So, anyways, yeah, I do agree with the like fall 2024, fall 2024, in 2024. So I was like, okay, so we're not getting a first party title until May of 2024, and that is going to be Senua's Saga. Okay, all right, that's a little late in the year. Like 5 months in already, but okay. And then we get the sneaky drop of Visions of Mana from Square Enix that they didn't have on their roadmap. They just kind of wrote it in, which I thought was fun. That's in summer of 2024. And then the other three are either Indiana Jones is randomly in 2024 at some time, and the other two are fall of 2024. So let's just start from the beginning. Avowed. I don't know if I can't remember how I put these. I think this is the beginning how this runs out.
Yep.
Avowed. Fall 2024 looks. I'm very interested to see to kind of get a little bit more about it, but I mean it looks cool. It's Obsidian. I'm a big Grounded fan. I will certainly give it a shot. I know it's not really in that same genre. Grounded was kind of like an offshoot of stuff that they do, but just their game style has always been kind of fun. So I'll always give them a look and be excited for what they have to show. So I was excited to see that.
I liked the look of Avowed for the fact that it had Elder Scrolls kind of Skyrim feel in terms of you had the dual wielding action, you had like you could conjure spells with hands, you were using wands, so it had that open world RPG style esque to it with a combination of wizardry and hand-to-hand combat kind of thing. So I was really liking that. I like the look of that. The graphics for it looked amazing. I've spoken to somebody that also watched it, and they said exactly the same. They said they were very keen to get their hands on it and play. So
yeah, I'm hoping for the stories that you heard in Outer Worlds too. Like, I mean, I played a little bit of that, and you would have to be like, you'd have to make those like moral decisions in that game of like, well, do I let this guy live or not live, or do I tell him that they can go over there, and so I'm hoping for some of that storyline too as well. So I was excited for this. I will definitely give it a play and see if I can stick with it. Then next came Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, which we've seen 5,000 times, and now we have a pretty firm date, May 2024. So that's good. Be the first party game, at least that we know of. First party game this year. Visions of I'm sorry, not Vision. I jumped ahead. Hellblade 2, so I'm excited to play this. I loved the first one. It was one of the first games I played on my Series S. So I was excited about that. Any thoughts on Hellblade 2?
It was interesting to see some more behind the scenes stuff, like how they captured the motion and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
It looks like the staff have had a lot of fun making this game. I felt sorry for the stuntman that missed the mat as he fell off. I thought that was funny. But yeah, I'm keen. I didn't play the first one. I completely missed it while I was on Game Pass. I know Jaya has played the first one because they used it in her psychology class at college. Obviously, cool. Hearing her voices and stuff like that. So they were kind of tying that into somebody with split personality disorder and psychosis like kind of disorders. So that was really cool. I just like seeing the behind the scenes thing where they had that directional microphone with the two microphones and like for left and right, and they had the two voice actors circling around while they were saying stuff. I thought that's really cool. It was nice to see how they captured that kind of stuff and how that stuff works. And we got the leaked date prior to the developer direct of May 21st as a rumor, and they have that date has stuck, so that date was correct, which was good in a way that yes, we got a leak and we got a little bit of a sense for it at first, but So I'll be giving it a try, just because we've seen that much of it that and it's the first party title for the year.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Then next, the sneaky drop that wasn't on their roadmap from Square Enix, Visions of Mana, coming to Xbox in summer 2024. This is the only game that we're not sure, I believe we're not sure, is coming to Game Pass. So I'm pretty sure Indiana Jones is a Bethesda game, so I'd be really shocked if it didn't come to Game Pass. So I've never played any of the Mana
Indiana
games.
Jones. I thought Indiana Jones was a Machine Games game, not. It's Todd Howard's vision of Bethesda, but it's been made by Machine Games.
Yeah, so that might be wrong.
But I have every feeling that Indiana Jones is going to be Game Pass day one. I also have a feeling that Square Enix is going to be Game Pass day one because they kept saying how they were really excited to bring this game to the Xbox community day one. So, and there's no better way than doing that than putting it on the subscription service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they didn't say that it wouldn't be. My point, I just wanted to verify that they did not say that it would be. So we'll just have to see where it lands and what that looks like. I would. So from everything I'm seeing here, yes, Indiana Jones is coming to Game Pass. That's been verified. So we're good there. And so, anyways, back to Visions of Mana. I thought the Mana series looked cool. Something came up on the Switch. I almost bought them on the Switch, the Trials of Mana, and then something happened and I didn't end up buying them. So I actually have never jumped into the games. So I would be I'd be interested in giving it a look and seeing how it played if something I like. So
it's huge news for people who are fans of like games like Final Fantasy and things like that, and a huge fan of the series if you have an Xbox, because this is the first one that's coming to the Xbox consoles. I've just done a quick Google. A lot of people are saying the same, that it said it was coming day one to Xbox. It wasn't coming day one to Xbox Game Pass. They are usually very specific with that. But we might get more news closer to summer 2024.
If I were to bet, I would say it ends up coming to Game Pass. That just might not be a finalized deal yet. Then next was Aura History Untold, which is kind of it's a strategy experience to PC Game Pass in fall of 2024. It's like a civilization like is what I would call it. Maybe a little bit more in depth. Definitely. Well, I haven't played much of Civilization 6 on the PC, so I was going to say it was prettier than Civilization, but I don't know what Civilization looks like currently. But it's a pretty game. Let me just put that instead of comparing it. So, looked very...
Yeah, they seemed really excited that rather than it being turn-based, it's all simultaneous turns. Mm-hmm. So, everybody makes their turn, and then something happens, and then you have to make your turn based on everything that you've just seen happen. So, to try and make for better strategies while playing the game. I thought that was an interesting take. And if I was a big player of things on the PC, then that would be something I'd probably give it a go just to see that, because I played like, Red Alert, Command and Conquer kind of stuff, as well as Warhammer kind of stuff, and Civilization kind of stuff. So I have played those games in the past when I've had a gaming PC available to me. But this is an interesting take on that kind of genre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And then finally, they ended with the big one that everybody was excited to see: Indiana Jones, and they verified that it is, and the Great Circle. That was we had talked about that as a rumor. Releases for Xbox in 2024. Lots of gameplay unveiled. They showed that they were going to flip from third to first person. And first, you'll be doing puzzles in first person. Looks like a lot of platforming and climbing in third person. I don't have a problem with that. I guess I always like games that let you choose when you want to be in what view form. But they seem to think they know which one's best. So I'll play and see if I agree with them. So you excited for Indiana Jones?
Yes, very excited. I think it's great that they brought in the the hand-to-hand combat. I like the use of the whip. I love the idea of the puzzles, the platforming, the climbing, the repeatability, and I also like the fact that a lot of the puzzles they were saying that are off the beaten path that you wouldn't quite see straight away brings out like the when I play games like that, I search every nook and cranny. If I go into a room and there's a way, like you can go like around the outside of the room before you go to the next room.
Mm-hmm.
Like systematically searching for things. So this is going to be like right on my street. Yep. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I am very excited. I agree with you. As long as the benefit is there, right? So like if I decide to go out of my way to solve a puzzle that I didn't need to solve for the story, I want there to be a decent enough benefit or bonus compared to if I didn't do it. That'll be my one caveat to that. I do like doing puzzles, but yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna take the time to do it, then reward me with something cool. I do agree with the whip too, man. You can like trip people up with it, use it to reach switches, use it to get to other places. I mean, it's got all the uses you would expect that you would find with an Indiana Jones whip. So I think that's pretty cool. You called the Harrison Ford face. I'm glad they stuck with that. I think that's really cool.
I like the placement of the game. This is what I really like. The name of the Great Circle. If you go back and look at the locations of all the films previous to this, and then look at the locations for films prior to it. After this, so post the Great Circle, and you line them all up, it does create a circle around the globe. I like that. I like where they've put this in the history of the movies, which is probably why they've made Harrison Ford look as young as they have, because I think it's pivotal. It plays an important part for the story of the game. So,
yeah. So, those were the games. Lasted about 30 minutes. 5 games is what we got. We really knew we were getting 4 of them, right? We pretty much knew even before the direct started.
We knew there was 4, but the way it was laid out, I like instantly looked at it and thought we're on like 4 boxes. Last year was 5. So yeah. I knew there was going to be something else, just didn't know what.
So purely arbitrary, doesn't matter at all. So if you think this is an A+, that's fine, people. But Sean, what's your rating for this developer direct? A through F.
I'd go C-, mid-range. I was excited for the Square Enix stuff because I thought it was great. It was a really good tie-in to bring in that kind of genre to the console. Obviously, not sure if it's day one. The Indiana Jones stuff and knowing that Machine Games have made this game off the back of Todd Howard's kind of vision, I thought that was interesting. Seeing a bit more of, like I said, how Hellblade's been made in the background and things like that. Again, we've had a lot of talk about this game and snippets here and there, but it was just nice to eventually get a date. The gameplay that we saw of Avowed was good, and for people that are really interested in that genre of games, our History Untold brings a lot to it. Just unfortunately, the excitement level I had was, Avowed looks good, and then we've seen lots of Hellblade. Square Enix was exciting. I probably won't play History Untold. Give me the good stuff, Indiana Jones. So I'm comparing it to last year's, like where we had Hi-Fi Rush, we had Redfall, Forza Motorsport, like really big games that I was really excited and stuff like that. It didn't tick as many boxes.
Yeah, I was bummed there wasn't a Hi-Fi Rush this year. There wasn't that like surprise drop. I really thought we'd get a surprise drop of some little, and I say little, but Hi-Fi Rush got great praise and won tons of awards. And so I really thought we get something like that at the end or, somewhere in there, but there was not. And I think looking 5 months out for a first party title is a bit much. I am with you that I'm pretty excited for Avowed. I'm really excited for Senua Saga. I'm interested to try Visions of Mana. Probably going to pass for myself on History Untold. And then Indiana Jones, I'm super excited for. I give it a C+. I give it a C plus. And I almost hesitate to not put it into a B. And the reason is, yes, all these games are not for me. But what I do love, a lot of times when you watch these directs, these presentations, what you get is a bunch of one note, like, we're going to shoot in the jungle, we're going to shoot in the desert, we're going to shoot in World War II, we're going to shoot in space. I really did appreciate that, yes, not all these games are here for me, but there's a bunch of different style, genre games for everybody. So for me, it almost like, as much as for me personally, it's probably like a C plus, edging on a B. For the fact that there are so many different styles of games here, it's like a B, really. I mean, like, everybody's got no matter your genre, you can't tell me out of these 5 games, there's not a game that you not like, yeah, that game could be for me. And they're not all going to be for you because they're too different and varied. So I don't know. I really thought they did a good job. When we started Game Pass News, way back when, no, just kidding. When we started Game Pass News, man, we would go to these things, and like I said, it would just be like everybody's carrying a gun in a different environment, basically. A different gun in a different environment, but it's all a gun.
Well, it went through that. Everybody was carrying a gun in a different environment. Stop. Then everybody was crafting and harvesting in a different environment.
Yeah.
Stop. So...
Yeah, so now they're like, all right, well, you know, and I appreciate this mix of games. You're right. There is no banger, right? There's no... I mean, Indiana Jones could be that. It is for a lot of people. But there's no, like, Starfield or Fable or Forza Motorsports. Or there's not that one pinnacle game. But I think... And there might be. Like, it just doesn't ring that way initially. Maybe Avowed will be like, oh my gosh, this game's awesome. And Indiana Jones could certainly be that. If there's a game there right off top that looks like it could be, it's Indiana Jones. But yeah, I do agree that this year, on like a triple A, that's the title we're all excited about. Might not be there this year, but I think that these are going to be some solid titles. Will they hit their dates? It's always the question with Xbox.
Well, this is when you're given... Well, there's only one with a confirmed actual date of May 21st, 2024. The rest of them are like fall, summer, 2024. Right. So...
And I'm good with that, but will they hit those? So will we get 2 games in the fall? That's the question. We got 2, right? Yeah, we got Avowed and Aura. Will they both come in the fall, or will one of them end up getting pushed to 2025? I think that's the main question. Will we get Indiana Jones in 2024? I mean, that's the question with Xbox. They've started, I think, to be better about hitting their dates for the most part, but sometimes, you know. But I'm still a little leery from 2022. So sorry, he's still.
Yep. I mean,
gun shy.
You want to talk? You're saying like, oh, about them hitting the dates and stuff like that. We're seeing games being cancelled, and we're seeing job cuts, which we're going to talk about in a little while. So there is, like you say, there's chances. So
yeah. All right. Well, that is the developer direct, which dropped on Thursday. You can go to our YouTube and see the direct and see all the different splits and all that stuff. So if you want to see the real deal and you haven't seen it yet, then I recommend you go there. Next, we have a game that we have been playing. Sean and I both dropped, as we said, Palworld on Friday. Sean, why don't you tell us about it? Why don't you set the foundation for it?
So you create your character, and then that character is dropped into the world of Palworld. You don't know where you are. You don't know like what you're kind of doing, and then you begin on a tutorial where you're collecting wood and stone and stuff like that to start crafting things. Once you've crafted a few things, you can then start finding pals, and these pals are like tiny creatures. You start off around like what look like little pink cats. You've got lambs, little tiny lambs that are round like balls, and little chicks that are round like balls. And these are quite useful little pals. And to get them, you have to strike them a couple of times, which, you know, seems a bit weird that you're taking a wooden bat to a small lamb. But, you know, club them a little bit, and then you throw a pal sphere, which is something that you've crafted at your little crafting table, and you catch them in this little sphere. And And then you can set these guys to work. They all have different jobs that they enjoy doing and jobs that they don't like doing. You have to make sure you've got a bed for them. You have to feed them. You have to care for them. You have to pet them. But basically, you can enslave them a little bit in terms of they start doing things for you. And
they work for you because they love you so much, Sean. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. They want to help. But this game goes from like open world harvesting, crafting to like the building a giant house. You're having to make sure you've got beds, you have to feed them, you have to care for them. If you don't, they get stressed out and they will stop working and they'll just take themselves off and sleep or like basically turn around and go, fuck you, I'm not working. Which mine do quite often. They keep complaining about the working conditions, but they've got food, they've got water, they've got a place to bathe, they've got a place to sleep. I don't know what else to do. So it's trying to keep on top of that and kind of go to their means. But this game's a lot of fun. I am like horrendously far into the game. I think I'm coming to the end of the tutorial. I need to beat the person at the first tower, which I tried to do earlier and it got my ass handed to me straight away. So I've retreated back and I'm going to grind for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing is ace. They're all different shapes and sizes. Like I've caught a Goomblast, which is fucking huge. I mean, like I get it out of its PAL box and it's almost the size of my house, and I have to be careful because it keeps standing on the campfire and setting fire to itself.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh, that's great! I didn't know that could happen. Love it.
But there's loads of videos online about all the kind of different stuff you can do with this, like to the point of somebody accidentally captured a human, and then it doesn't go into the PAL box, but it goes into your inventory. And when you meet a merchant, you can sell this human that you captured. So, there's a bit of human trafficking in there. I don't know if that's a glitch and it'll get patched out at a later date because that seems a little bit weird. But yeah. I just think there is so much. And for a game that's in game preview, like I'm sat here staring, it's loaded up on this screen at the moment on the TV, and it's version 0.1.1.1.1. For a game that is at that low of a level for, updates and patches, to be having over 7 million consecutive players within 72 hours of launch is just mind-boggling. This game has gone from nothing to the most talked about game this weekend in no time at all. And duly so. I enjoy every time I play it. I sit there and I'm thinking I'm playing a Pokemon-like game that is for grown-ups, where I can give them guns. You can pick them up and throw them at people. Literally just pick them up and throw them around. It's just absolutely crazy. So I'm playing this kind of game. It's cost me nothing because it's included in my subscription, and it's huge. They have done a fantastic job with this game. So.
Yeah, I would agree. I am very shocked. Game previews, can oftentimes be crashy and not in the best shape. And you kind of when you open up a game preview game, you kind of know that you might be taking that on. I have not crashed once. I do think there is some like animation stuff they need to work out. The game feels just a little sluggish in animations and stuff, but it's a game preview game, so that's fine. But I am so pleased that I have not crashed or anything like that. The building seems to be working just fine. I did want to ask you this. When you start the game, did you feel like they were trying to set up a Breath of the Wild moment when you're like in the cave?
Yeah, this is the other side of it, is that because you've got all that open worldness, that it does feel very much like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, not only that though, when it starts, in Breath of the Wild, you're like in a cave and you like walk out and you see this world. I felt like that's what they were trying to exude from this game. They wanted you to like feel the cave, or like walk out of this like dimly lit cave. The sunlight breaks open, and you're just like boom, and it somewhat works. It just reminded me very much of Breath of the Wild. I think catching the pals is cool. I do think it takes a second to be like, okay, I'm gonna beat this fluffy soft creature until near death, and then I'm gonna catch him in a ball. This is no different than what you really do in Pokemon, people, except instead of Pokemon, you don't do it, you just have another Pokemon do it for you. Like, there's really no different, but because you're the one doing it with a bat, it does feel a bit different. But that, but you kind of get used to it, and it's all good. And I have appreciated the survival. I'm with Sean. I'm not very far into it. Not near far as I'm sure some people, but just a handful of hours probably. But I have, I am pleasantly surprised about it. So moving,
yeah. Just really quick, I like the leveling up system as well. Mm-hmm. So you can every time you level up, you unlock experience points, but you also unlock tech points, and then you have to spend those tech points to kind of figure out, what you want to have the ability to build. So if you go into your inventory, so you press the 3 lines, the hamburger button,
mm-hmm.
And you're into that, and you skip across a couple of pages from your inventory to tech. I think it's called technology or tech. And you spend your tech points in there. You can pick like what you want to build next. So you can pick if you want like to have different clothing, if you want to pick up like build something that'll help the production of your base, or if you like you can buy items of clothing. You could craft items of clothing for your pals and all this kind of stuff. So I really, really like that kind of system. It's a lot of fun. It brings a completely different thing because you choose your own path in that sense. And it's given an extra layer to the game in terms of things that you can do. So
yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm single parenting it. So if you see me off the side, I'm talking to my kids who are apparently now old enough to put themselves to bed, which will be a first for them. So excuse me. So I wasn't. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to listen to what you were saying.
No, that's cool. All I was saying was about the leveling up system and the spending of tech points and stuff like that to kind of purchase different things that you need to go further in the game.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I didn't segue into something that you were going to talk about. So they have set out a roadmap for us for 8 major features coming to Xbox. Those features are PvP raid bosses and for endgame content, crossplay, which I think will be pretty exciting. Xbox feature improvements. Apparently, there's a lot of those that are needed. Server transfers and migrations. Not even sure what that really means. Improvements to the building system, which I actually think it's pretty good. I'd like to be
the
able
only
to
thing
move
I'm struggling
stuff.
with the building, like you could see, you can't move anything. You have to disassemble it.
Yeah, and
so you have to
definitely disassemble it, people. Like if you're gonna play this game, I just took an axe to something because I was like, You okay? I thought you were taken over by a Godzilla there or something. I don't know. You were just like.
No, the teen came out of the room to let the cat out.
Gotcha.
I had the light in front of me, so I can only just see figures moving in the background. So I'm like, but no. So yeah, as you're saying, I did exactly the same as you. I was like, I didn't want that part to look like that at the base. So I was trying to build a slanted roof, and I thought you have to put these triangle sections in, then put the roof to those, and that didn't quite work. So I ended up just smashing things with an axe. And then as I went to go into the build mode again, I saw that if you hit the right analog stick, you can go into disassemble mode. And I was like, oh, that makes it a hell of a lot quicker. I'm not damaging my tools, and I get the resources back.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. So they do have some plans for some updates. Also, I think it's interesting. Pokemon has come out because, I mean, let's be honest, this is a Pokemon-like game, people. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. They have come out with a statement that said we have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We have not granted any permissions for use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on our intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon games. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. So, I mean, I don't know IP law, so I'm not going to sit here and say whether they're in trouble or not in trouble. That's a whole, I'd be making a lot more money if I did. I wish I did. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this. Palworld, the developers, have said, hey, listen, we've gone through a legal review of our game and what we're doing, and we did not come across any red flags, or they said it's fine where it's at. Maybe they did come across red flags and fixed them. I don't know. But so it'll be interesting to see what Pokemon finds and if they take any action or if this is just kind of a...
Yeah. All I can say is it's really close.
Mm-hmm.
Really close. Like the image that I'm currently looking at and the image that's the thumbnail for the YouTube video and everything like that, and probably all the social media videos, is going to have what looks like Electrobuzz holding a giant minigun.
Mm-hmm.
And you went and looked, you loaded up the image of Electrobuzz and the Palworld like thing. I can't remember its name. I've only come across it once, and that's when I got my ass handed to me. And it is very close. The teeth are different, the eyes are different, the ears are different, but the coloring and stuff like that, it's like a giant mouse with yellow and black bolts all over it.
Mm-hmm.
It's close. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I can't see them coming out with anything because I reckon that the makers of Palworld have been very careful knowing how big Niantic is. It's probably got all the backing of Nintendo to come at them and be like, we need to kill this game or we need to make massive changes. But yeah, I have a feeling that they probably won't find as much as they're hoping to find.
Yeah, for sure. Also, Palworld has said they're working hard on hotfixes for Xbox stuff. There is a certification process. I've talked about this certification process in Coral Island. Coral Island has talked about the certification process. It takes longer than Steam's. That's why Steam hotfixes are out and Xboxes are not. It's nothing against Xbox. It's this certification process that they go through. I don't entirely know what that certification process looks like. I'm just saying it is well known that it takes longer for Xbox to get something certified and out than it does for Steam. So, but Palworld said they are working on improvements on the regular. They've already put out some for Xbox. They have others in the pipeline. So,
yeah. And I've seen videos on TikTok, I've seen shorts on YouTube, and I have seen reviewers turn around and say that this game is a lot harder on the Xbox.
Okay.
To do with like at what level you unlock certain things. So like apparently there's an artifact that you unlock, and I think it's at level 12 on the Xbox for your character, but it's level 6 on Steam. Huh. And that artifact makes defeating the tutorial boss a hell of a lot easier. So some people are saying they've done that on purpose to drag people away from playing it on Game Pass to playing it on Steam. I don't think that's the case. I think it's very much like you say, these hotfixes being held in certification. They probably already patched that on Steam, and it's there sat in the certification stage with Microsoft, and will probably come at a later date.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So those are our top stories, our news bulletins. Xbox is introducing Indie Selects. This is not a subscription service. This is just a spotlight service that will be in the Microsoft Store so that they can spotlight games that are not on Game Pass. Xbox says they already spotlight indie games on Xbox on Game Pass. They get enough spotlight. These are indie games that they feel deserve a little attention that aren't currently on Game Pass.
Yep. So when you see these games, you either see them in a journalistic style like we have, or if you actually see them in the Microsoft Store, don't get excited like I did and think, hey, I'm going to be able to play I'm going to be able to play Stray because that's one of the first games that's going to be spotlighted. I get to play that for a few days for free. It's not true. I fell for that trap, so don't do that.
Also, Turtle Beach has a Velocity 1 racing system that I think Sean should buy instead of a bike. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But it looks really cool, but it's like $700 and it's the whole thing. Have you seen this, Sean?
I have $700 isn't an expensive amount of money for that kind of setup.
Yeah.
Like you can spend almost that much money on just the steering wheel that you plug into your direct drive fan mower kind of thing.
Holy poop.
So yeah, that's not too bad. I would do that over buying a bike. I have some changes coming to my shift pattern soon that mean I'm moving away from the group of guys that I go mountain biking with.
Aw, bummer.
So spending the money on a mountain bike is not at the top of my priority now. So.
Gotcha. Well, there you go. Turtle Beach has got right where you need to put that money now, on a Velocity 1 racing wheel.
Yeah.
Our feature story, pretty big one here and somewhat sad one. Microsoft has announced they're cutting 1,900 employee jobs. Also, in the same day, Mike Ybarra has announced that he is quitting from Blizzard. Also, in the same day, Blizzard has announced that they are canceling their survival their survival game. So, yeah, welcome to a busy news day for Microsoft, and all of it kind of is. So, that's
yeah, wow. It was interesting to watch the stock price for Microsoft. It kind of did this really big like dip and then straight back up to the above 3 billion mark. It was just bizarre to watch. So, firstly, the night I don't know which way around do you want to address this because it's just so much to address. Do we do the job cuts or the guy leaving and game cancelled?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess my first thing, I was trying to find. Yeah. So I was trying. Okay, Matt Booty. Here you go. I think this is an important. This will kind of give you an idea of why they cut the jobs. Cutting the job cutting is probably the bigger story in my opinion. So
yeah,
he doesn't specifically say, but as you may have read in Phil's note, this is Matt Booty, president of Xbox. No, is he president? I was thinking he was, but now I'm not sure. It just says Xbox. We'll just say it's Matt Booty from Xbox. Executive Bigwig. That's his technical title now. As you may have read in Phil's note, today is a challenging day as we say goodbye to some of our colleagues. This is a difficult process, but it is one that will best enable Blizzard and Xbox to deliver ambitious games for our players on more platforms and in more places than ever before. We are moving forward with a more focused strategy across Microsoft Gaming that sets us up for sustainable growth and aligns our talent and resources to our top priorities. Thank you for working through these changes with us. Together, we will continue to create amazing games for our players with a culture that empowers everyone. The hard fact is, Sean, what he's saying here is we took two big-ass companies and we made them one. And what we found out is there were some overlap in the two big-ass companies. Like that's what I read out of that is just like, hey, listen,
yeah,
I mean, there's two guys, one was doing it for this company, one was doing it for that company. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I'm just saying they were like, yeah, we don't need two guys to do this job that now that these two companies are one, the one guy can do. It sucks. I get it. Like it's an actual, I am not disassociated from the fact that it's an actual person that needs actual money to feed their actual family. Okay, I get it. It sucks. But also, it's not surprising given what has happened. Now, I don't know. The only thing I will say is I don't know if there are any promises to Blizzard employees or not about, hey, if we come together, you'll stay, like that kind of stuff. I don't know if any of that happened or not. If it did, that sucks as well. But lots of things suck. But I think that's basically it. You took these two big companies and you made them one, and there was an overlap.
Yeah, I agree. I can't see them. This is where like you have to have some kind of union involved because there's no way that you can make that kind of promise when you're blending two big companies like this together.
Yeah.
So these 1,900 people are. So those 1,900 roles are going. So that's a combination of this person in this team and this person in this team. They're probably going to have to sit through some kind of process in terms of, a scoring process or an interview for that role. So the two people that might be having the same role might have to interview for that role, and see how it goes from there.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks. I mean, being a guy that's been in the position of being made redundant twice, it's not it's not a comfortable position to be in. You instantly start worrying about like, okay, maybe you've got a young family, or maybe you've got monetary commitments in terms of a mortgage, or you've seen that these two companies are coming together, and you think, oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to be, we're going to be making so many killer games. The company's going to be doing this. There could be bonuses, or like I could be set for a while, and you go and you buy something that you might have to make payments on. People are their lives and livelihoods are going to change because of this, and it sucks. But like you said, there's 22,000 people in the team between Microsoft and Activision. There's got to be your overhead for employee budget and stuff like that, and what you pay people in salaries is going to be huge. So they're going to kind of go through and remove duplicates. It just sucks. It's just
Yeah, it does.
And also, like you said, these people must have kind of seen this coming. Must have been a discussion that's been had at some point. It's just, yeah.
This is also, and there is another conversation here of like that kind of isn't just a Microsoft conversation, but of like, so the video game industry in and of themselves have lost, what is it? I think it's 6,000, 25 days into 2024, and 5,900 layoffs have already occurred in the video game industry. So there is a question here of like, well, what is going on? Like, video games are selling a lot, but we got a lot. Why are these layoffs happening? Is this, and I don't know, everything is kind of always PR speak, which is what you should do and what you're told to do, of like, we're realigning our vision and strategy, and so to better focus on our players and our profits, blah, 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 So, you got to kind of try to read in between the line of what that really means. Are these jobs being ended because there's AI's doing their job? Are they being ended because the tools are better? Are they being ended because, that's a lot of jobs. Like, I know it's a big industry, but 6,000 jobs is a lot of jobs to be gone within 25 days of 2024. So I don't know, man. But
I mean, a lot of that, it could be studios that are closing down because they can't afford to make games, or then they can't afford to make games in the way that they were making them. So a lot of that could be studios closing down, could be small studios, medium studios, But at the same time, yeah, you've got technical improvements. I mean, there's technical improvements being made in the industry that I work in that could see people of my level be replaced by a basically a robot that can walk around and do the same kind of checks that I have to do, stuff like that, and be all autonomous. So yeah, it sucks. It really does. I'm trying to see this from, so like I've got I'm an employee, and I have money that I need to make because I need to feed my kids and I need to like look after my family and stuff like that. And at the same time, you also got to stick the business hat on and be like, if we want to continue, yes, we've just spent the best part of 70 billion on this merger. Like, if we want to carry on and continue to be able to make big games that can help fund the fact that we just made this merger and keep us at that 3 trillion point, because that's the other thing, is Microsoft is now a company, the second company ever to hit the 3 trillion mark. They need to do stuff to keep the ball rolling and keep going. And if making cuts here and changing their business ethics and stuff like that in terms of it being more lean and able to operate at a lower cost, then it just makes business sense, which again sucks. And I hate having to say it because I would absolutely hate to be in that position. But
Yeah, and then along with that news, Mike Ybarra, same day, says, you know, I am that he's announcing his departure from the Blizzard studio, and I don't want to say, and also, and I say also not. I don't know if these things are connected or not. So just understand that they could be two separate and happen to be on the same day or together. I don't really get it. But I will read it as it's read in the pure Xbox article. Mike Ybarra has announced his departure from the studio, and with it, the cancellation of Blizzard's in-development survival game, which is a real bummer because from everything I thought we knew, that game was coming along nicely. So it's just weird that all of a sudden it got canceled.
That game was announced in and around the beginning of 2022. That they were like, Blizzard is embarking on our next quest. We're going on a journey to a whole new universe, home to a brand new survival game for PC and console, a place full of heroes we have yet to meet, and stories yet to be told, and adventures yet to be lived. A vast realm of possibility waiting to be explored. That was the tagline for this. There was no other details at the time about it. We haven't seen many other details about this game since that point in 2022. But yeah, it just seems bizarre. Like, is Ybarra taking this with him for wherever he goes? Does he have some kind of ownership rights in terms of, has he dreamt this up? Is this his vision and he kind of wants to take it with him?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Either way, I will be interested to see where he lands, or if I mean he's been in the 20 years, I think is what he said. So I don't know if he's looking to get back in the industry in another way. I will be interested to see what he does. He's a seasoned veteran. He's seen through one of the largest acquisitions in history. So I mean, he's got a resume that I'm sure a lot of people are interested in getting him in their house. So it'll be interested to see what he wants to do. He doesn't specifically talk about much about his future, just more about his thankfulness for being part of Blizzard and for the team that has helped to build the games that they've built. So I think that's
and he says, I want to thank everybody who is impacted today for their meaningful contributions to the teams, to Blizzard, and to players' lives. In an incredibly hard day, my energy and support will be focused on all those amazing individuals impacting this story of a reflection on your amazing work. If there's anything I can do to help with connections, recommendations, etc., DM me. So he has been very open. He's been very like, look, I know this sucks, but I will do everything and anything I can to help you get something as well. So it seems a very nice parting gift.
Yeah, I would agree. So those are our feature stories. Let's jump into our dashboard. Okay, the dashboard where we talk about games we're playing and games we will be playing on our docket. Well, for me, it's Palworld, which we've already pretty much chatted about, and Lego Fortnite. So you just jumped into Fortnite, right?
Yeah, and for me, it is also Palworld and Lego Fortnite. But yeah, so off the back of you talking about it, I went and gave it a go. I needed to do the whole test to see how... the dad test. I went in, I played the game, I saw how the controls worked. Was it going to be too violent? Was it going to be too difficult? Was it too much to get your head around and things like that? Because Logan is a seasoned Minecraft player. He enjoys playing Minecraft. So I went in, I tried it, thought, this is pretty cool. I will introduce the kiddos to it. So I did. I did the same as you. I installed it on the Switches. Spent 45 minutes messing around with Epic accounts because I couldn't remember passwords for Nintendo accounts and Epic accounts to log everything in and link it all across. But did that. Then noted that I was a friend with Logan on Epic and a friend with Emily on Epic, but Emily and Logan weren't friends with each other on Epic. So, and then because I put parenting things in place so they can't add friends, I had to frick about with that for a while.
I like that though, because you can do it and then you just have to put the pin in.
Yeah,
I actually really like that. I thought that's a great addition.
So did all that, and then like I had Emily on one side of me, sat on the sofa. I had Logan sat on the other side of me. They were on their Switch Lights. I was on the Xbox, and we played Lego Fortnite together. And the crossplay worked really, really well. Had a bit of difficulty when it came to telling them what buttons to press because A, B, and X and Y are all flipped between the two consoles. But like once we got around that, Logan went off and did his own thing. He just went foraging for berries. For whatever reason, he just wanted to go get berries. So off he went. He was doing all his harvesting for food to make sure everybody had food and they were going to be well fed. Emily went off chopping wood, mining stone because she wanted to build all the houses for everybody. She built beds for everybody. She built chests for everybody at the end of the beds and stuff like that. So she went and did all that kind of stuff. And I went and I knew that after playing it on my own for a while, I knew that like what we needed to do to get the items to progress a bit more. So I was like, right, okay, I will, while they're doing all that, that means I don't have to do it. I will go into the caves and raid chests and stuff like that, bring back the knotwood so I can upgrade the bench so we can have better tools to do things. So, and that's how we played. We played for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it was great. Good fun.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, the kids love it. I love it. And the time with them is so much fun with it. They did Lego Epic. They together did such a good job for this being, I mean, I don't know if it's their first crack, but, one of their, this first game foray into this genre. It's a lot of fun. We're having a real good time. Sean, you gave me the good idea. I was playing on my Switch just because I was, and it was downloaded, and you were like, well, you could play it on Xbox. Man, I loaded it up on Xbox so much quicker. Like, and it's not one because of the Xbox, but two because my Xbox is, none of the Switches are connected to Ethernet, but my Xbox is. So, just loads in, loads quicker than the Switches. The kids are like, I started before you. How'd you get in already? I'm like, because I'm awesome.
So have you've been cross playing as well then, I assume?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's great. That is something that I like about it, and I think Epic are doing an awesome job. Like, it's been a long time since I loaded it. I think the last time I played Fortnite, I played it with Capital Gaming and the Nintendo dads when they did. There was a certain event that was happening in Fortnite, and they all played together and stuff. And I kind of jumped in on that for a little bit. When you downloaded the Fortnite game, it was just Fortnite. There was nothing else. But now when you download the Fortnite game, you've got the racing, you've got the Lego Fortnite, you've got the main the music stage thing, as well as the OG Fortnite. Epic are doing a fantastic job of making that like some kind of portal application, so you can play all these different games in one.
And somehow they're all freaking free. It's just ridiculous, but awesome.
Yeah, it's the free to play market. This is one of the things that I think for gaming subscriptions is a really, really good idea, because you can entice people in, and then you stick skins or like pay to play style features in terms of skins and weapon skins and different things like that, and different dances, different emotes, and people love it and they'll pay for it.
Yeah, as long as you got the game, then they'll be there for it. It's pretty awesome.
I know for a fact that I think in the space of 24 hours, Jay had dropped £25 on V-Bucks in a 24-hour period, just so she could have the Metal Gear Solid skin and the M&M skin and stuff like that. She could go and buy them.
That's hilarious. But I get it. Yeah. So that's all I've been playing, and the only thing on my docket is Turnip Boy. I want to get to Turnip Boy this week. So other than that, I'd probably be the only thing I add to the docket, other than more Palworld and more Fortnite.
I'm going to see how Palworld plays via the cloud, if it's possible. I can't quite remember if it's possible. So I'm going to try that over the weekend. And
yeah, it's everywhere. Palworld's everywhere. So yes, it is.
Yeah. And then probably give Go Mecha Ball a try as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I can get to that, but I would like to. But story of my life. Sean, I need to go check on kids. So we're going to have to skip the football chat, I think. We had a football chat. By football, we mean American football. But unfortunately, I need to go make sure these kiddos are doing what they need to do. So I think we're gonna have to cut out the party chat this week. Sorry,
No,
folks.
no worries. It's cool. You need to go and make sure they brush the teeth properly and so on and so forth, because the last 2 weeks has been nothing but teeth chat between us two.
That's true.
Gotta look after them pearly whites. Yeah, so we're going to skip party chat this week. Well, bring the football thing to it next week, because hopefully by then, fingers crossed, you will be super excited.
Yeah, my Lions will be in the Super Bowl if we're really lucky. Okay, that's all I got to say. My Lions will be in the Super Bowl. If life is great, I'll either be happy or sad. I mean, blown away. I never thought in my entire life I'd see him in the Super Bowl. I never thought I'd ever see him in the championship. So if I see him in the Super Bowl, I don't know. It'll be a whole nother level. You'll hear me. I won't even need to text you. You'll just hear me all the way over there.
I'm gonna have. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it anywhere, but last time I found it on some kind of internet radio I could listen to the game, so I'm going to do the same this weekend because it'll be on around the time I'm at work. So.
Sweet. So yeah, take us out so I can check on these kids.
Yep. So thanks everyone for listening. You can find us every social media outlet that is out there. Everybody's at Game Pass Tracker. If you want to email us, drop us a question, you can do show@gamepasstracker.com. If you want to get in touch with me directly on X, it's Sean_Abbott. And if you want to get in touch with my guy Nick, it is at Nick10DOH. Nick Tendo. Thanks very much for listening. We will get to any questions and party chat next week, and we will sit there for a while we chat about football. But until then, and until next time, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.